Hello. Hello. So, let's see. I didn't find any participant here till now. Mhm. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Are you listening? All right. So today we will discuss. Are you listening? Nupur?
Yes, sir.
Ah. So yesterday class, what we have discussed, started discussing IR system. If you have any doubt, you can ask. IR system realization. Okay. Right. IIR system realization, what we have started yesterday, then this is the realization. Yeah. Are you listening? Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I hope, Kiapal, are you there? Aditya. So are you listening? I didn't hear your voice yet. Okay. Is it all right? Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
Are you listening my voice clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
No problem. Okay. Now, yesterday what we have discussed, do you have any doubt? What we have discussed yesterday? Huh?
No.
IIR system realization. IIR system realization. What we have started yesterday, we have said that for IIR system, AZ by BZ, that means at least BZ will not be equal to 1. And both will not be equal to 1, then also it is IIR system. That we have discussed. Then I have assumed that your YZ, B0, B1, Z inverse, B2, Z power minus 2, and BM, Z power minus M. And this is XZ 1 plus A1, Z inverse, A2, Z power minus 2, and Z minus M. My point is that transfer function of a system is essentially the Z transform the output divided by the Z transform of the input. The ratio of the Z transform of the output and input. That is the definition of transfer function. And impulse response will be the inverse of the Z transform. That we have discussed, right? Okay. Now, while realizing this system, I said how to realize this system. There are 4 cases: direct form 1, direct form 2, parallel structure, and cascade structure. Yesterday we have discussed direct form 1 realization, right? Direct form 1 realization. Direct form 1 realization, then I said I can write yz equal to this. So if you cross multiply, then yz will be multiplied by this denominator, xz will be multiplied by numerator. Then you could take everything right hand side, keeping yz left hand side, then you will get this expression. And if you take the inverse of this, yz, yn, and correspondingly inverse of every term is mentioned here. Then I said, while realizing, then we have to realize one side is the input, another side is the output, right? Now, if you want to find this is yz
Yes.
and this is your xz, then yz part, if you look at, this is minus a1 z inverse, minus a2 z inverse, that thing, and n z power minus n. Therefore, yz you have to ultimately get the output. So z inverse, as many number of z inverse means you are having y up to n, so you will be requiring n to n number of z inverse term. Z
Twice.
inverse essentially a delay. Z inverse essentially a delay, right? Now Z inverse essentially a delay, so every time your input is getting delayed. Suppose here yz, this is yz, right? This is yz means inverse of this will be yn. Now if you come through Z inverse, this is Z inverse yz. If you take the inverse, that is y of n minus 1. So therefore output is getting delayed while going through the Z inverse. So Z inverse essentially a delay input. So it's a hardware, delay hardware, right? Now, so output is implemented in one side, input is implemented in another side, and for input you are having separate delay, input you are having separate delay elements, and output also you are having separate delay elements. But what is the difference? The difference is, if you look at the input side like xz and xz, this is xz, there the coefficient b0, b1, b2, bm, they are all positive. But here these coefficients are negative. Therefore, while multiplying the constants, input side they are positive and output side they are negative. All right. Agreed? Now,
Yes, sir.
so therefore, you are getting this structure which is called direct form 1 realization of the IIR system. Right. This is what we have discussed yesterday. Now, we will be going forward direct form 2 structure. Direct form 2 structure. Now, what is the problem in direct form 1 structure is that number of delay element is more. Number of delay element is more. If you look at number of delay element, there you are having output side, you are having n number of terms. This is n number of terms. Input side you are having m number of terms. Therefore, total number of delay element is n plus m. Agreed? Total number
Yes.
of delay element is more. So this is the problem in the realization. Realization means this is a hardware realization I'm talking about. The delay element you have to how do in hardware, how do you realize the delay? Hardware
Delay circuit.
using delay flip-flop, D flip-flop, using D
Yes.
flip-flop. So if you give
Yes,
the
yes.
input, after every clock, input will be going to the output. So delay is essentially realized using a delay flip-flop. Now, if you have more number of delay, you require more number of D flip-flop. More number of D flip-flop means it will require more
Power
cost. So cost will be more, power consumption will be more. Yes, Amit, you are
Yes.
correct. Because more number of hardware means it will take more number of input. So it will take more power. At the same time, it will take much cost because each flip-flop has some cost, right? If you have 10 flip-flop, number of cost will be less. If you want 20, more cost, more cost. If you reduce the number of hardware, cost of the hardware is reduced. At the same time, power consumption will be required because every hardware requires some kind of power. Very good. So therefore, to minimize this hardware requirement, we require direct form 2. So direct form 2 of the structure, how this is realized. Again, the same thing. That is your transfer function, hz equal to yz by xz. Same thing, b0, b2 up to m number of, so this is m number of delay. This is a generalized expression. And this is one, what do you call, 1 plus n number of delay again in the denominator, and this is your numerator. And you know, transfer function hz is nothing but ratio of the z transform of the output and z transform of the input. Same thing as previous. Now what we are doing? Now I'm writing yz by xz equal to wz by xz, yz by wz. This wz gets cancelled, means this is the same thing I can write.
Yes.
Now
Yes.
I'm writing wz by xz, wz by xz. This quantity is the denominator. So I'm writing wz by xz. And yz by wz, I am writing the numerator. Therefore,
Numerator.
if I take this ratio, yz by xz will be again same thing, this same thing, this one.
Yes.
Right. Therefore, I am writing wz by xz and yz by wz. Right. Wz, I am taking another new variable wz. Basically, you are having yz by xz, which is your hz. But I am writing yz by xz as wz by xz and yz by wz. My idea of doing this is minimize the number of delay element, or minimize the number of delay element that will help me to reduce the cost of the hardware, at the same time power consumption. So these two advantages I would like to get out of this process. So my idea of going to direct from 2 realization is to minimize the hardware requirement. Okay, because this is a realization how a IAS system or such kind of system could be realized using hardware. That is we are discussing. So whatever steps we will doing will justify later part of the derivation that this will reduce the number of hardware. Okay. Now wz by xz, yz by wz I have already explained, but while doing so, if ratio of this should be same as this ratio, yz by wz equal to hz. Very good. Agreed? Everything is all right till now? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, from this expression, I can find xz. Xz equal to wz multiplied by this. So I have written 3 implies. This is your equation number 3. This is your equation number 3. This is your equation number 4. I have written 3 implies. So I am getting from 3. So xz equal to wz a1 z power minus 1 wz, like that. What you have get, just simply cross multiplying the whole thing. Right. Now, this is equation number 5 I have written. Right. 3 implies whatever you got, I have given by equation number 5. Now, from 5 what I am writing, I am finding the expression for wz. So if I want to find wz, xz minus all these things, xz minus all these things. All right. This is our equation number 6. Now, if you see here yz equal to wz multiplied by whole thing. That is I have written yz equal to wz multiplied by whole thing. That is equation number 7. Okay. Now,
Yes.
now come here. This is the realization of this wz and yz and xz. What I am doing? I am written xz here, xz. Then in between I have written wz. Then I have written yz here. I want to realize using the same thing. Now, if you come here, that I require the term, suppose xz, if I see this equation, wz equal to xz minus this quantity, xz minus a1 z inverse, a2 z to the minus 2 wz. Now look at this here. This is my wz, then xz minus because this is z inverse wz. If it comes here, minus of a1, if add here, that will be xz minus a1 z inverse wz. Agreed?
Yes.
Means this is wz, right? So wz equal to xz minus z inverse w minus multiplied by a1. This will be adding, this will be here. Now everything is going to be multiplied by minus 2, and all these terms will be negatively added because of the negative coefficient I have written here, negative multiplier coefficient. Then all will come together. It will be coming here. Therefore, this realize the wz, right? So total thing that at this position here, that will be xz plus all this negative thing. Therefore, I have realized what is WZ, XZ minus all this negative thing. So I have realized WZ. And your YZ is a function of WZ. So once I realize WZ, then I have to realize that part. Now if you look at here, then WZ is here, then B0 into WZ, that is the first term, that is output, YZ, then B1 Z inverse WZ. So from here, it is Z inverse WZ, B1 is multiplied, this is added. So YZ is B0 WZ, this multiplied is added, all these terms will be added one by one, and that will be realized in the YZ. Ultimately, we will getting this expression, these two expression are realized. Now, what is the advantage we have got? Right. The advantage, if you look at, that number of delay element that is reduced. Definitely number of delay element reduced. Is not it? Because we are using, because WZ is another variable, so we are using all this delay along this line. So number of delay elements, so same delay is used for input and output part. So separate delay elements are not there. Direct from developed earlier, then due to the hardware requirement, direct form 2 was developed, right? Direct form 2 was developed, and in direct form 2 we have reduced the number of delay. However, number of multiplier requirement remains same. Okay, so therefore this thing what do you call the realization of a IR system that is done using summer, multiplier and a delay. So what I am saying that in a digital system, what we are studying? We are studying digital signal processing. So we are processing digital signal through digital systems, right? IR filters, what you're talking IR system, they are a digital systems. FIR system, they are also a digital system. FIR system realization is much simpler because there is no denominator. So the realization is straightforward. We'll learn that also in filter design section, in FIR filter design section. So the realization of FIR filter is much easier. However, IR filter realization or IR system realization requires some complication or have some complication because you are having both numerator and denominator, right? Only numerator is there for FIR system. Now, the question is realization of what I was talking about. We are discussing digital signal processing. So we are processing digital signal through digital systems, right? Processing digital signals through digital systems. Now, a digital system, any digital system that could be realized by using a delay and adder and multiplier. Any digital system could be realized by using delay, adder and a multiplier. B0 by multiplier. Again, multiplier also could be realized using adder. Right? Multiplier also could be realized using adder. Even subtractor, that is essentially 2's complement, was complement, n's complement. That is also essentially adder. If you remember, subtraction is essentially addition in digital system, because either 2's complement addition or 1's complement addition. Therefore, and multiplier also, if you add several times, this is become multiplication. If you add 2 times, it is a multiplier by 2. If you add 3 times, then it will be multiplied by 3, like that. Therefore, any digital system that could be realized only using an adder and a delay, nothing else is required. So this is the major advantage of digital signal processing at this stage. That is the thing that I saying that any digital system could be realized by using a delay and a adder. Nothing else required. For it, this is the advantage of digital signal processing over analog signal processing. Analog signal processing, everything you have to realize separately, and separate blocks are there. Different kinds of amplifiers there. You have studied in analog design, that is logarithmic amplifier, logarithmic multiplier, another kind of multiplier, but that is not required in digital system. In any digital system that could be realized only using an adder and a delay. All right. So this is the major advantage of digital processing, and that's why that digital processing becomes famous worldwide. Okay, now, so what were advantage of direct form 2? That we are realizing with lesser number of delay and thereby minimizing or reducing the cost of hardware and power requirement. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
So this is the two forms I have realized. Right. Now I will discuss one example and then I will realize by that from 1 and that from 2. And this example I have given in the assignment, but I didn't ask to realize. I didn't ask to realize because that time that portion was not covered. So I will discuss this problem, then everything will be clear. Is it clear so far what we have discussed?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
No doubts. Right? Very good. Now let us take this example. In this example, what is there? Now previously when I was discussing the theory of direct from 1 or direct from 2, then I have taken m term, n term, then some of you asked why, how do you got this polynomial? Why this polynomial? Why z is like this, or yz is like this? Why xz is like this? That is actually as per the theory of the literature. Now we will apply those theory in a particular problem. Then I will understand what essentially yz is, what essentially xz is, what a problem specific approach for direct from 1 and direct from 2. Agreed? Now let us look at the problem, then everything will be clear. Another important thing at this stage I would like to mention that I have drawn this structure by pen, but while drawing in the exam you should draw this using pencil. Okay,
Yes. Yes.
to draw this using pencil, because if I made a mistake here I will cut and write, then I will show you in the note, but in exam if you cut and write you will not get marks, because if examiner do not understand, he will not give you marks. Therefore you draw it in a pencil so that you can erase and recorrect, right? But right now
Yes,
I
sir.
don't have pencil, so I am drawing only using pen, because my pencil everything in college. Okay. Okay, so I am drawing using only, I don't have, if I have pencil I might have drawn using pencil also. Okay, now see, suppose yn equal to this, right? So yz equal to, if you look at yz equal to minus 3 by 8 z inverse yz. Agreed?
Mm,
Next 3 by 32 z inverse
Z.
z to the power minus 2 yz, then 1 by
Yes, sir.
4 z power minus 3 yz, then you are having xn xz, then 3xn minus 1 3 z inverse xz, 2 z power
Yes.
minus 2 xz. Okay, then you can find yz by xz. Then this is your yz by xz in a practical problem. In a practical problem you will be having z by xz like this. So those who are asking that why yz is like this, why is xz is like this, because that was the theory in the literature. But in a practical problem, this will look like something this. Okay, now this is one expression. Then I am doing yz by xz, then wz by xz, yz by wz. Then I am writing wz by xz equal to 1 by this part. This part I am writing
Denominator.
yz by wz. Okay, this is numerator, yz by wz. Wz by xz is your denominator. Agreed?
Yeah.
Fine.
Yes, sir.
Now I am writing one implies. One key implies, what is implying? So wz here, xz here. So I can write wz equal to xz minus wz equal to xz minus this 38 negative and
3
this
by 8 into.
positive. I hope you got this wz equal to. Agreed?
Yes.
Everybody check it once. Is it okay or not?
Yes, sir.
From 1 I am finding wz. So if you multiply wz with this thing and xz with this thing, so wz, these things will be left hand side, so I am taking it
Okay.
right hand side, means this all will be negative, positive will be negative, negative will be positive. So that will be minus, so xz minus 3 by 8 z inverse wz plus 3 by 32 z inverse minus 2. Of course there is a wz is missing here, you should see here there is also wz, right? And this is 1 by 64 z to the power minus 3 wz. Everywhere there will be wz. Agreed?
Yes.
Fine. Now yz. Yz equal to, this is multiplied by wz minus 3z inverse wz plus 2z power minus 2 wz. So ultimately we have got these two expressions. Okay. Now we have to realize. Realize means if I have this expression yz, See, this expression is enough for realizing direct form 1. Okay, this expression I have given a right sign. So this is enough for realizing direct form 1 structure. Okay, and this expression is YZWZ that is required for direct form 2 structure.
Two.
So if the question is there that realize this difference equation using direct form 1, then you will do up to this and realize. And if the question is there realize this difference equation using direct form 2, then you have to do entire step. All right, are you getting my point? So if it is asked only direct form 1, so you have to do up to this then realize. And if it is asked to realize using direct form 2, then you have to do the entire step and then realize. Okay, okay, now first I will show direct form 1 realization. Again, direct from 1 realization. So input side you are having delay, output side you also you are having delay. So this is xz. So this is xz and this is z in the, here what is there, z inverse xz, and here it will be z power minus 2 xz, right? So z inverse xz and z to the power minus 2 xz, they are multiplied by 3 and 2, they are added together coming here. Look at the expression there. So ultimately you have to realize this expression. So xz 3z inverse xz plus 2z inverse xz. This portion is realized in the, this portion is realized in this here. So xz, this things as realized, and this is coming here as the output. This output here, output at this position, I'm talking about this position. This position, what is the output? This position output is this 3 term. This 3 term is the output that is realized in the input side. Okay, then I have to realize the output side.
xz minus 2.
All right, so realization in the output side, if you look at, this is 1. So yz, z inverse, that is z power minus 1 yz, this is multiplied by minus 3 by 8, this is added here, coming here. Then again z power minus 1, so z power minus 2 yz here, that is my 3 by 2 multiplication, then it is coming here, adding here. Then z power minus 3 yz, this is 1 by 64, this coming here and adding here. So ultimately this summation output will be entire thing. Entire thing means what? What is output here? Sum of all this that is present here, this is coming here, and all this term added here, and this is coming here. So at this position output will be this term and this term. So that will realize entire thing as yz. This is adding entire thing as yz. Agreed? Agreed? So this is the realization using direct form 1. Okay, in a practical problem, how do you realize this? Direct from theory 1 could be applied in this particular problem. Agreed? Any doubt? Any doubt?
No, sir.
No doubt. Kya Pal, are you there? Kya?
Sir.
Everything, everything okay? Everything okay? এখনো পর্যন্ত সব
প্রথমে আমি লাস্ট উইক ফার্স্টে যেটা ডিসকাস করছিলেন সেটা আধা শুনতে মানে আধা
সেটা ওই
জয়েন করেছি ওটা
প্রথমে যেটা ডিসকাস করছিলাম সেটা ডাইরেক্ট ফ্রম 1টাই ছিল, সেটা তো কালকে পড়িয়েছি, সেটা এখন তো বললাম আবার। ঠিক আছে, নতুন নতুন কিছু না, ঠিক আছে, প্রথমে ওটাই বলছিলাম, ডাইরেক্ট ফ্রম 1টা আরেকবার বলছিলাম, ঠিক আছে, বুঝতে পেরেছো? ঠিক আছে, নাও next we will discuss direct form 2. Direct form 2. Direct form 2 means we have to realize these two expressions. These two expressions. Okay. So wz equal to xz minus 3 by 8 z inverse wz 3 by 32 z to the minus 2. Here also there will be one wz that is missing here, right? You write it wz. Okay. Then 1 by 64 z power minus 3 wz and yz equal to this. This we have to realize. Now see here. Direct from 2. See wz equal to xz coming here, then z power minus 1 wz that multiplied by minus 3 by 8 coming here, then z to the power minus 1 again, so this will be z power minus 2 wz, this is coming here multiplied by 3 by 32, then again z power minus 1, z power minus 3 wz, this will be 1 by 64, this will be coming here, all three terms added here, then this will go to the wz. So this part of the realization is wz. Look at here. again this is wz, xz minus 3 z inverse wz, 3 by 8 z inverse z minus 2 wz here, and this. So this
1/64
whole
Z
thing, this whole thing was realized in this section. This whole thing is realized in this section. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
So this
Yes,
is
sir.
coming here as wz. Okay. Now you have to realize this part. Then you have to realize
Why?
this part. Okay. Realize this part means wyz. Yz equal to wz plus 3 z inverse wz 2z power minus 2 w. Then if you realize here, then this is z inverse wz, because wz here, this is z inverse, so it will be z inverse wz. Now z inverse wz multiplied by 3, this is coming here and adding here, this is going here, adding here. Then again z power minus 1 if you there, so this will be z power minus 2 wz. Z power minus 2 wz, this is multiplied by 2 and getting added here. So this is going there and this term is going there. This, both the terms are getting added here. So this expression, what do you call yz? This expression is realized here. This expression is realized. This expression is realized in this section. Okay. Now if you compare here, how many delay is there? 1, 2.
5.
Direct from 1. So here total 5 number of delay. But in direct from 2, how many delay? 3. So 2 delay is reduced. Therefore, you are reducing 2 number of delay flip-flop. I have said delay is essentially realized in digital systems using a D flip-flop. D flip-flop, you are having some input. Then input is present in your D terminal, right? And output will be Q and Q bar. So every clock pulse, once clock pulse, every bit will be appear at the output from input, right? With the every clock pulse. So every input will be delayed by a clock. So delay is essentially realized using D flip-flop. Now my point is, now you are having here 3 delay elements. At the same time, you are having 5 delay elements. So this is the advantage of direct from 2 over direct from 1. Other things remain same. Okay. Other thing remains same. I think adder is also a little bit of reduced, or same number of adders. Total number of adders 3 and 3 6. 1 2 3 4 5
4, 6.
6. So the main advantage is in the delay element. Now tell me if you have any doubt in this so far, what we have discussed in direct from 1 and direct from 2. Any doubt?
Sorry, direct from 1 realization to 2.
Direct from 1 realization টা direct from 1 realization টা কি জিজ্ঞেস করেছে তাকে এসে direct from 1 realization টা কি? Direct from 1 realization টা হচ্ছে ইনপুটটা one side it is realized and output is separate section. So input output two separate section, because there is no common variable. There is a common variable in direct from 2, that is wd. Now in this, if you look at here having z inverse, here having z inverse. So in direct from 1, what you have to realize? You have to realize this expression. You have to realize this expression. Here you see xz plus 3z inverse xz plus 2z power minus 2 xz. This section is realized. This section is realized here. Xz, that is z inverse xz, and z power minus 2 xz multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2. Xz directly coming. So this is realized in this section, and total thing is available here after summing. Okay, and the output side, if you look at here, this is the thing. This is the thing you have to realize. This is the thing I realize means z inverse yz, z power minus 2 yz, z power minus 3 yz multiplied by 1 by 64, 3 by 32, and minus 3 by 8 respectively. Then what happened? If you look at here, that is this part. So this is presented this part, this total thing. Then z inverse yz multiplied by minus 3 by 8, z power minus 2 yz, that is multiplied by 3 by 2, that is coming here, and z power minus 3 yz multiplied by 1 by 64 coming here. So all three things coming here and adding together. This is available input side, this is available here, then output will be available here in this. Agreed? Okay, or not? Direct from 1 realization. Okay. Acha. Or question? Any question? So no other question, then you have to go ahead. See, we are having 6 minutes left, right? 6 minutes. So instead of starting anything new, what I do, if you have any doubt that I want to clarify, otherwise I would like to stop. The another important thing for today's class, I will not give you the quiz. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, I will not give you the quiz because direct from 1, direct from 2, quiz will not be given. I will give you 2 problems, right? You have to realize using direct from 1, direct from 2, and I will send you 2 problems through your email. Okay, and you have to submit by tomorrow by understanding this, and I will send this material. Agreed?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So for today's problem, I will not give you the quiz. Instead of that, I will give you 2 separate questions. 2 separate questions. Realize using direct from 1, direct from 2. You only have to write in and scan this and attach this as a assignment. Agreed? Okay?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Fine. Now next thing what I want to know, what about our FNAT test? FNAT test?
স্যার ওটা তো লিংক স্যার আর ওটাও
Link-
কি
Link পাওনি?
9টা থেকে
Link-
হ্যাঁ পেয়েছি
হ্যাঁ, পেয়েছি,
9টা থেকে 6টার মধ্যে অ্যাটেন্ড করতে পারবো এক্সামটা।
হ্যাঁ, তাহলে তো সারাদিন সময় আছে।
হ্যাঁ সারাদিন সময় আছে স্যার। লিংকটা খোলার পরে অনেকগুলো কোর্সেস আসছে স্যার, কোনটাতে যেতে হবে স্যার টেস্ট দেওয়ার জন্য?
লিংকটা খোলার পরে অনেকগুলো আসছে।
কোর্সেস
না
আসছে
তো।
হ্যাঁ।
না টেস্ট,
না, না।
হ্যাঁ আমি তো
টেস্ট, না টেস্টের জন্য কি লিংক আছে সেটা দেখতে হবে, টেস্টটাই ক্লিক করতে হবে, বুঝলে?
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা
টেস্টের জন্য
আচ্ছা,
ডাইরেক্ট
ঠিক আছে। আর ওই
ঠিক
যেগুলো
আছে।
কোর্সেস আছে সেগুলো নয়, তোমরা ডাইরেক্টলি পরীক্ষা দেওয়াটা ঢুকে যেতে পারবে। ঠিক আছে। আর
হ্যাঁ, স্যার।
কোনো অসুবিধা স্পেসিফিক হলে আমাকে সেটা মেল করে পাঠাও, আমি তোমাদের লিখে পাঠাচ্ছি। ঠিক আছে, যদি কোনো
ঠিক আছে স্যার।
অসুবিধা হয়। ঠিক আছে। আচ্ছা, আর একটা যেটা হলো যে জেড ট্রান্সফর্মটা অলমোস্ট আই এম, বাংলা বোঝে না কে কে আছে এখানে যারা আছে সঙ্গে এখন? এই বাংলা কে কে বোঝে না? বাংলা বোঝে না এমন কেউ আছে? কেউ না, সবাই বাংলা বোঝে, তাই তো?
হ্যাঁ।
Now tell me
হ্যাঁ।
one thing I would like to mention, that jet transform we have almost in the final stage. What I will do from tomorrow or maybe day after tomorrow, we will start a new topic along with some 10-15 minute jet transform. Okay, because I have to complete the syllabus. See, your syllabus essentially having 6 modules. 6 modules. One is basic signals and problems, basic system and problems. These 2 I have already completed. Then jet transform is another section, is a bigger section. Next section is your DTFT, DFT. Next section is your FIR filter design and IR filter design. Right? Since we have studied FIR system and IR system, then some portion is finished here in jet transform itself. And next is your DSP processor and FPGA. So we have completed with this completion 3 modules almost. So tomorrow or day after tomorrow we'll start 4th module, right? We'll start 4th module. So 4th module means we will be starting DTFT and DFT. So we may start tomorrow or maybe day after tomorrow class onwards, along with some 10-15 minutes jet transform and previous course revision. Like that we will proceed. So I have completed nearly 55% of your syllabus, because 45% are still left. And whatever I have covered so far, you have studied properly, means you should be in a position to answer at least 55 marks out of 70. What I have covered so far, right? So next class or next after that, we will, this week only we will start DFT, DTFT. Okay, and some time of jet transform, right? So if
স্যার আমার একটা কোয়েশ্চেন আছে।
follow,
বলছি স্যার যে আমাদের এক্সামটা অনলাইন হবে না অফলাইন যেমন হয় ওরকম হবে?
আমার সাবজেক্টে এক্সাম নিয়ে অত চিন্তা করার কিছু নাই। আমার সাবজেক্টে
না না, আমি মাকআউটের কথা বলছি। মেন
70টা 70 মার্কসটা?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
সেভেন
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
আমিও
হ্যাঁ, লিখে
জানি
দিয়েছি।
ওটা, আই ডোন্ট হ্যাভ এনি আইডিয়া।
মানে কোন রকম কোনো সার্কুলার কিছু দেয়নি, কিছু
এখনো
বলেওনি?
পর্যন্ত কোনো সার্কুলার নেই, তবে অনলাইন ওর অফলাইনই হোক দুটোই। অনলাইনে একটা পসিবিলিটি আছে, অনলাইন এত বড় সিস্টেমে করা একটু মুশকিল আছে, বুঝলে তো। অনলাইনে তো হবে না, অফলাইনই হবে। তো এখনো কোনো সার্কুলার আমার কাছে তো আসেনি,
হ্যাঁ
কোনো
আচ্ছা
ব্যাপার নয়। আর আমি
না
যেটা
আসলে শুনছিলাম তো সেই জন্য আপনাকে জিজ্ঞাসা
না
করলাম।
না এখনো পর্যন্ত কোনো কিছু আসেনি। আচ্ছা, আরেকটা হচ্ছে আমার যে সাবজেক্ট ডিএসপি, এই সাবজেক্টে যারা তোমার রেগুলার কুইজ জমা দেবে, রেগুলার অ্যাসাইনমেন্ট জমা দেবে, এই দুটো তো মিনিমাম রিকোয়ারমেন্ট। অ্যাপার্ট ফ্রম যারা জুম ক্লাস যারা করছে তারাই নাম্বার পাবে, কাজে ওটা নিয়ে চিন্তার কিছু নাই, ঠিক আছে। তবে কুইজটা
আচ্ছা
সবাই জমা করতে হবে, কুইজটা এবং
হ্যাঁ
অ্যাসাইনমেন্টটা রেগুলার জমা করতে হবে, ঠিক আছে।
হ্যাঁ স্যার, ইয়েস স্যার।
তাহলে আজকের মতো এখানে কমপ্লিট করছি, অ্যাগেন উইল মিট টুমরো।
হুম
থ্যাংক ইউ।
ওকে স্যার
ওকে স্যার,
থ্যাংক ইউ।
Thank
ওকে,
you,
থ্যাংক
sir.
ইউ স্যার,
থ্যাংক ইউ, থ্যাংক ইউ।
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার।
ওকে।
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার।
হুম।